You are only allowed, according to the Department of Water Affairs regulations, to be exposed to 0.01 milligrams per litre uranium. The Robinson Dam contains 16 milligrams per litre. So this is an indication to you what the effect is of acidic mine water upon the ecology and also upon the river systems. In the background you will see is Dr. Francois Durand. He was doing, he was looking whether there are any living forms. There were not one single living form in the Robinson Lake. It is a dead lake. It is classified as by the National Nuclear Regulator as a radioactive lake. You can notice also there is pollution plumes. This is a Google photo. That is the Robinson Lake, and then you can see the plume moving downwards into the wetlands. Now, what is the current situation? The West Rand Basin is the smallest mining basin. We also have the East Rand Basin, the Central Basin, and the Far West Rand Basin. The West Rand Basin is the first basin to decant, in other words, for acidic mine water to discharge on surface. They are at present only treating the surface water. There is between 18 and 36 megalitres being discharged of acidic mine water per day. That means that if you had to convert it into suburban swimming pools, 1 megalitre fills 20 suburban swimming pools. An unqualified volume of acidic mine water is flowing downstream. That is not treated. It is flowing into the Swartkrans compartment, into the Limpopo River catchment, and it also is depleting the dolomites of the Sterkfontein Caves, which is where our fossils are. That is the World Heritage Site, where, for example, the fossils of Mrs. Pless and so forth are being kept. That is being depleted at the moment. It also has caused a void, you can notice there, of 8,960 cubic meters because acidic mine water depletes dolomites. And it also can lead to the collapse of the N14 roadway, which carries a significant volume of traffic to Botswana. This is the Cradle of Humankind World Heritage Site. This is what acidic mine water looks like. As I've mentioned, at the moment, from the Western Basin between 18 and 36 megalitres is decanting. In the Central Basin, this acidic mine water is rising at 0.9 meters per day. It is 800 meters from uncontrollable decant. There will be decanting 60 megalitres a day from the Central Basin. From the Eastern Basin, it will be flowing out from an old taxi rank at Nigel. It is also in the process of flooding, and it will decant in 2 years. It will flow into the Blesbokspruit, and there will be 80 megalitres that will be decanting. Pamotsi Gold was the company busy pumping the water. Pamotsi Gold is now liquidated. This is Olympic size swimming pool. Every day 10 of these Olympic swimming pool water is decanting from the Western Basin into our receiving watercourses. I might just mention to you, it's decanting at the moment into the Tweeloopie-Spruit. It's treated, but semi-treated because it cannot be treated to potable water. The Tweeloopie-Spruit today is a class 5 river. There is nothing living in that river. In fact, every day, because of the semi-toxic water, it contributes 100 tons of salt every day to the Tweeloopie-Spruit. It destroys all agricultural potential whatsoever, and it has a severe impact. It's highly acutely toxic on fauna and flora and aquatic biota. Please read through this just to see what acid mine drainage is. It says that the second bullet point, acid mine drainage is responsible for the most costly environmental and socio-economic costs. production of acid mine drainage may continue for many years. When it says many, it is not decades, it's centuries. All tailings dams, all rock dams, all mine infrastructure would generate acid mine drainage as well as the flooding of all the mine basins. Acid mine drainage is not only associated with surface and groundwater pollution, degradation of soil quality for harming aquatic sediments and fauna, but it also allows for heavy metals to seep into the soil. This is from Pamazzi Gold. That was only 30 megalitres. They discharge 80 megalitres a day. This is what acidic mine water looks like when it's pumped from a basin. That was from the Eastern Basin. Please notice too that acidic mine water causes cancers, mental retardation, skin lesions. It has toxicological effects, that is chronic effects like mutagenicity. It affects, in other words, your genes and therefore your children and your children's children. And the heterogenicity impacts as well as estrogenicity impacts. It mentions too that the European Environmental Bureau classified it as the greatest environmental risk next to global warming. That is what I've referred to previously. Every day into the Tweeloopie-Spruit, that's the Limpopo catchment, eventually ending into the Hartbeespoort Dam, 100 tons of salt, because acid mine drainage contains salt loads, sulfates, part of the heavy metals, and every day 100 tons are being discharged, or 5 20-ton trucks. What is of very great concern, and I think which will have relevance to my audience, is the fact that the persons that are most impacted upon are the residents of poor communities, those living in informal settlements or in townships, which these people have very high HIV/AIDS percentages, but they also suffer from chronic and acute malnutrition. They are the most vulnerable and they are the most exposed. I just wish to say, because I am a grassroots level activist, I work daily amongst informal settlement dwellers. And it is an immoral, unethical thing to see the riches of the gold mines adjacent to the poorest of the poor communities. The communities have not benefited. That is another externality, air pollution. This was a child that lived within the Tweeloopie-Spruit area. You will notice the child has no eyelids and the child is blind. This photo led to the suspension of Dr. Anthony Turton when it was used in a presentation which he did for the CSIR. I believe, or I've been credibly informed, that there is a whole hospital full of these children in the area. Just want to go on. Part of the externalities that the mines have imposed upon the communities is that the mines have dewatered the underground compartments to make mining safe and to maximize their profits. As a result, it has resulted in, because it's dolomite, in sinkhole formation. You will notice this is an older sinkhole. This happens on a daily basis in the Kutsong area where there are thousands of residents, and this is the price that we have to pay for gold mining. A pockmarked earth, which when rewatering takes place when the mines close, this will be exacerbated. In fact, this will be, the sinkhole formations will increase. These sinkholes, I may just mention to you, entire buildings disappearing there. These are not small holes, it's massive, massive holes. So that is the price of gold mining.